Hello guys, I am super excited to be with you today. Let me maybe raise this up a second. Okay, excited to be with you guys. This is how to generate more leads with already what's in your pipeline. So many times I hear as I'm speaking with individuals that they're overwhelmed with leads. And so I've got the whiteboard with me. That's why it's a little bit different setting than what it normally is, where you see the rhinos everywhere. But let's deep dive this today. We got Darren. Hello. Okay, so let's deep dive how we generate more revenue from the existing leads, the ones that you've already paid for. So many times we think about how do we get more leads? How do we get more leads, more leads, more leads, more leads? And I'm telling you, it's a bottomless pit. It's a trap. It can get you to where you're spending a lot of money and not necessarily bringing a lot of money in. So it's all about ROI. So we're going to deep dive some of this stuff right now. And whenever I hear someone talk about being overwhelmed, meaning they are struggling to keep up with the lead flow, they don't know exactly how to manage the lead flow, they don't know how to keep up with the current leads that are coming in, let's talk about that. A lot of times, not every time, but a lot of times, that simply means you have too many leads coming in. Too many leads coming in. Now, your knee-jerk reaction is probably going to call me out and say, too many leads, how is that possible? How is it possible to have too many leads? So let's talk about that. Why is that a trap, and why is that going to lead you to where you might not make much money? Okay, so I looked over just my deal flow over the last month, and here's what I'm going to show you for the odds. Okay, 7 out of my last 10 deals. I hope that's not backwards. That might be backwards, but if it is, I apologize. But 7 out of my last 10 deals were done from follow-up. 3 of the last 10 deals were done from on the spot. So let me write this down. 7 came from follow-up. 3 came from on the spot. Okay? Now, when you see this, guys, I want you to really think about what's taking place here. Out of the last 10 closings, 7 of them came from follow-up. 3 of them came from on-the-spot closes. Where do we need to be focusing most of our efforts? According to what that has been. We focus majority of our efforts on follow-up. It is so crucial that you spend your time on follow-up, follow-up, follow-up. Now, the issue with having too many leads is the fact that you always are now taking the new phone, the next phone call, the next phone call, the next phone call, and you're just being an order taker. You're sifting through a ton of leads coming in, and a lot of them are going to be bad leads in the first place. They're calling in to chew you out. They're calling to say, take me off your list, pound sand, and maybe some vulgar words are thrown out, yeah. But a lot of leads are going to be calling in from your paid marketing. But here's the sweet number I want you to focus on, okay? I want you to focus on the number 5, okay? I want you to do 5 new leads a day, okay? Per acquisition manager. So if you have multiple acquisition managers and you have 2, bump that up to 10. But essentially what needs to be done is no more than 5 new leads a day. Now, why do I say that? Why do I say only 5 if we have the money to buy 10, 15, 20 leads a day? Here's why. We end up, at the end of the day, going after what I call the low-hanging fruit. So here we have my beautiful art, my tree. If we have so many leads coming in, with all of those leads coming in, the issue is it's going to lead you to just go after the low-hanging fruit, just the ones that are ready to close right this second, and they're ready to sign a deal right now. Just get over to my house. Because if you have too many leads, you don't have time to now do the quality follow-up. But remember what I said. 7 of my last 10 deals came from follow-up. 3 came from on the spot. Okay? If we have too many leads, it's going to create way too many lazy acquisition managers and lazy business owners, because you're now just focused on that low apple, that low-hanging fruit. But I want you to remember there is a ton of fruit up here in the higher end of the tree. Those are also the leads that when you're doing follow-up, those are the leads that a lot of the investors that you're competing against out there aren't doing. They're doing the same thing. They're going after the low-hanging fruit. They're not going for the follow-up. What does that do for your assignment fees? Here's what the beautiful thing about it. As I look past those same 10 deals, we did have one on the spot. That was a great assignment. It was a $27,000 assignment. The rest of them were a $7,000 and an $11,000. Okay, $7,000 and $11,000. Now, the ones with a follow-up, let's see what the average is on that so we can get an average. I want to make sure these are all real numbers so that it's making sense here. So 27,000 plus an 11,000 and a 7,000 is 45 divided by 3. We're at an average assignment of 15. Okay, average assignment of 15. On these 7, here's the best part. Not only did most of our deals come from follow-up, but our average assignment fee is $21,700 on those last 7 deals that came from follow-up. So not only is majority of your deals coming from the follow-up, but it also equates to a lot more money. Because that's when a lot of the other investors start to drop off. They're doing the same thing. They're getting caught up and overwhelmed with all the lead flow, but not the rhinos, not the rhinos. We need to be a lot better than that. We need to step up our game on the follow-up. That's why we have a CRM, a customer relationship management system. It's so crucial that we stay focused within that. There's so many deals sitting in there. And as Tom always likes to say, he always talks about the money is in the database or the money is in the follow-up, okay? That is the golden rule. Now, one of the things that by personal experience that just took place, this was just a short time ago, okay? So even though I'm teaching this and saying this, know that I'm teaching it because I failed miserably at this just a few months back. We started pumping in a lot of money into our marketing, a lot of money into our marketing. And so what we were normally spending about, 30 to 40,000, we decided like, hey, we've got some money. Let's just throw some more money in there and let's get more leads, which is going to equate to more deals. That's how your mind's going to tell you to do. Get more leads and you'll get more deals. Inevitably, you'll get more deals. Okay? Let me tell you what took place. We ended up spending upping from about a $35K a month, and we almost darn near doubled it, okay? We almost doubled it. We put in $60,000 into marketing, and let me tell you what happened. We got a ton. When I say a ton, we got a ton of leads, but we were so overwhelmed with how many leads were coming in that we started slacking off on follow-up. So here's what it ended up doing, okay? You ready? So 60K out. We are normally, typically, okay, on average, we're right around 125K to about $160K and $75K in assignments every month, okay? That's what it typically is. We're always like, let's push the bank, let's get 200K, let's make 250 in a month. Why not? We're already working. Let's just work twice as hard and let's make it $250,000. Let me tell you what took place because of this, okay? We spent $60,000. You ready for this? It's going to disgust you. We made $73K 1 month. And you ready for the worst part? I hate even saying this. We made right around $59K the next month. Awful. I was broke. I can't even keep lights on at $73,000 because I've got team that I've got to pay. I've got bills. I've got rent. I've got all this stuff that has to be paid. That doesn't keep the lights on. And then we went even lower. We spent more than what we brought back on one of those months. Let me relate it to you now in a story from one of my mentors, one of the people I look up to, and help me really catch this and understand what was going on. So a lot of you are probably familiar with a gentleman by the name of Todd Toback. Todd Toback is one of my mentors, love the guy, and he just breaks down business so that you can just take massive action and just rock and roll. So let me tell you what took place. Todd sent out a text to a link of a little video. He had just got done visiting his brother Tom and Dan in Florida. And he was back from the trip, and he was just thinking about what took place. He's out there visiting his brothers, his family, and one of the days they decided to go out fishing. So they're out fishing, and while they were fishing, they decided to, they wanted to fish for maybe like 6 to 8 hours. They wanted to be out there all day. This was something they did growing up, and they wanted to spend time together. So they went out to the ocean and started fishing, and they brought their I guess like bait that you'd put on a hook and cast it out there and start catching fish. Now, the good thing about that day was the fish were biting, and they were biting quickly. And so here they were with X amount of bait to use for the whole entire day. And what took place was they started catching a ton of fish. And all of a sudden they looked down and they're like, oh man, we've only been here a couple hours. We want to be here for longer than that, but we're running out of bait. We have no more bait. So Todd decided to, guys, if the fish are this like biting onto this that quick and everything's happening so quickly, why don't we try and use less and do more with less? So with the remaining portion of the bait that they had for fishing, they cut it into even smaller pieces, just teeny pieces, put it on the hook, cast it out, and the fish were on. Now, the coincidental thing is Todd's sitting there, and it just like literally slaps him in the face what just took place. He was able to still bring in fish, in fact, more fish off less bait. So now let's put that in play with our business model, okay? And what took place with me? I spent all this money, and I was essentially taking big chunks of bait, throwing it on the hook, and a fish was grabbing on. But at the same time, that big chunk of bait took up a big chunk of what all I had available. So I applied this principle, what Todd was trying to teach me in this video. He says, Cody, you've got to do more with less. So let me tell you what we did. We narrowed down our marketing down to $25K. Now remember, the month prior, we did $60,000, okay? We did $25K. We more than 50% cut expenses on our marketing for that month. Here's the results. Get ready. $180K off 25K marketing. We learned quickly because now lead flow was cut like, whoa, so down. We didn't have the phones ringing off the hook. It was not now, okay, oh man, how do I get off this phone and get on this phone? How do I get on this phone? How do this go? Now there was time in between each phone call, quite a bit of time. We kept marketing consistently. We cut it down to 25K, and we worked these leads super, super hard. And when those leads came in and they were dead leads, it now gave us time in between the next call to get into our CRM and start digging for gold that already exists in our database. And we found it. We found it so quick. We found deals that were a year old. We found deals that were 6 months old. We resurrected deals that were 2 years old. We were doing things that we were not doing, we were not focused on, and it was driving me bonkers seeing the results off less. We did a lot more with less that month, and it has taught me a powerful, powerful principle. Guys, it's not about how many leads come in the door. It's how well you can actually deep dive each lead and really spend quality time with each lead and now really get to the core root of why they're calling you. Yes, there's still going to be those leads that come in and say, go pound sand. Take me off your list. Great, that's an easy checkbox. And then in between the next one and the next call, get on your CRM. There is so much gold sitting in your backyard, in your database right now, that if you brought on an acquisition manager and said, I'm not giving you any new leads, all of our first 2 months of working here, it's working the current database. Every time Todd has done that with a new acquisition manager, every single time they have pulled deals from the current database, meaning this guy is profitable right out of the gates. He pulled out deals that cost him $0. I mean, in the past it cost him money, but these were already what we would consider a dead lead. Nothing's going to come of it. And acquisition managers go in there thinking, oh man, this is what we do. We just go in there and we start digging in the CRM and we're going to find deals. And guess what? They did. So the secret here, guys, is follow up, follow up, follow up. If you're overwhelmed because of lead flow and too many leads, I love that you felt it. I'm glad that you felt it. And consider that trial, that challenge, that struggle a blessing, because it teaches you that you can actually do more with less. You can spend a lot less in ad spend, in marketing, in direct mail, PPC, whatever it is, and only give yourself 5 new leads a day. 5 new leads a day. Now, guys, is this making sense, by the way? I see Darren give me a good thumbs up. Anyone out there, is this making sense? Give me some thumbs up so I know that this is, I hope I'm relaying this message clear to you guys about doing more with less. So please, 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 if you like this, give me that thumbs up so that we can continue to do these things and deliver quality content. The other thing is, if you know of someone that needs this right now, I know there's people in the tribe, and I've got a lot of tribe members on here with me. Share it. Share it with them now. Push the share button and get them on here live right now, or share it so they have this content. This is what helps people. We're all in this game, guys. We all want to get better. And I will tell you, not many people will trust that fact. I'm saying go try it. Go do more with less and spend more time in your follow-up. How you go with the current leads you've already spent money on, and how there's so much money sitting there right under your nose, ready for you to follow up and bring in more deals. I will tell you, with that being said, I'm going to look over here and see if there's any questions. Lead management and following up is one of the areas I'm really working to improve. So glad for this coaching video. Jeremy Beland, my man, how are you doing? Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. Follow-up is key, Jeremy, and everyone is guilty to an extent. Even me, to an extent, we're guilty of not doing quality follow-up. Follow-up's huge. Follow-up is where the gold is. It's not just a saying. It's not just a fancy thing to make people hyped up and like, I got to try follow-up. No, guys, I'm telling you, follow-up is where the money is at. Let's see. How many follow-ups on average did it take for those 7 deals? So here's the thing, Colby. That's a great question, Colby. The one thing that you want to do is this. You want to make sure when you're doing follow-up, here's how we did it. When we went back in and started pulling follow-up or pulling some leads and looking at some of the notes and saying, oh man, this could be something, what we did is we're really good at tracking down what we've talked about in the past so that when we talk to them, we bring up something that's not really related to the house, but more of a way of checking in on them, because this is a people business. This is not a business that is just, I think so many people look for the deal. How do I find the deal? I think the better question to always ask is, how do I serve people? How do I serve? Versus the deal. Because what we did is we go through our system, and because we've had quality conversations for at least 1 contact or 2 contacts and they're in our CRM, we have notes within our CRM that says, last time we talked to Miss Johnson, she told us about her dog falling down the stairs and breaking her foot. So when we do the follow-up, it's now doing follow-up based on, sorry, I had a guy come in. It's now doing follow-up based on that dog, based on something that's taken place in their life. So Colby, when you do it, there's really no number. It's doing it the amount of times it takes to get the deal. So it could be 1, it could be 5, it could be 10, it could be 20, it could be 60. The number will let you know because you just keep following up until the deal closes. But on average, 7 to 10 contacts is kind of the sweet spot. That's kind of your average when you start to see things going on and people starting to work with you. Because every time we call, like I said, it's to do with something non-related to the house. It's more about them. So let me give you an example that we did one of them with. I personally went on this appointment, and with that being said, when I was out on the appointment, the guy was really undecisive. He didn't know exactly what he wanted to do with the home. So he brought me out to see what an offer would look like. I never really gave him the price, but I could tell he is just like, I don't know. I don't want to give it away. I don't really have time, but I think it's probably in my best interest to fix up this home myself, put it on the market, and sell it myself. I know it's going to take time. It's going to take effort, but I think that's probably my best interest. And so I agreed with him. I said, yeah, if you think that's the best route, you should probably go that route. And so as I went through the home, I now started looking at things that needed to be fixed up. I noticed in the back there was a window that was broken. I noticed that the furnace looked like crap. I noticed that the toilets were cracked and stained and looked awful. And so what I did is, because he told me I want to ultimately fix this up and just send it out myself, what I did, I put in my notes to follow up in the future, and I did about a month out. And here was my follow-up to give you what I'm talking about, Colby, and for everyone else on here. What I did is I ended up calling him back, nothing to do really about the deal or, hey, can I still buy your home? It wasn't about that. What I did, and his name was, it was either Jack. Let's call it Jack for this sake. So called up Jack, said, hey, how are things going? He got on the phone. He's like, good. And you could tell he kind of didn't remember who I was. So I said, hey, Jack, this is Cody. I came out and walked your house maybe about a month ago. We were looking at your house, and I ended up just talking with you, and it looked like you were fixing up the home, and you were going to go that route and then put it on the MLS. I noticed while I was there that you had a broken window. And what I did, by the way, guys, I just Googled right before this phone call, like Home Depot or Lowe's, and find out their coupons, their discounts. And so what I did is I called him. I said, hey, Jack, while I was at your house, I noticed there was a broken window in the backyard, and Lowe's has a discount right now on their windows. It's $100 off any window that you purchase at this time. In fact, some of them, because they're not much more than $100, it's quite a savings. And so I just wanted to let you know about it because I remember seeing that broken window. I hope this helps you out. I'll send you a link to it so you can see it. And then I just sit there and quiet. And what did Jack do? Jack, first of all, thanked me. Oh my goodness, thanks for thinking of me. That would be awesome. But what took place was this. He says, Cody, I'm getting so sick of fixing up this home. I'm so sick of spending every weekend and every weeknight out here. And then countless trips to Lowe's, countless trips to Home Depot, and then come back and find out I have the wrong part. And so I've got to go back over and grab the right part and then come back. And he says, I'm getting sick of it. My wife's getting sick of it. In fact, if I don't get something done with this, I'm going to be sleeping on the couch. Come back out here and let's see if we can put a deal together and have you buy my house. We ended up going out there, putting the home under contract. So when I tell you to do follow-up, be smart with your follow-up. Don't worry about the deal. They can read right through that. They know all you care about is money, 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 money. Care about the individual. People don't care about what you have to say or what you have to offer until they know that you care about them. So care about them. Show that you care about them. And as you do that, you are going to walk away with contracts. But follow up, follow up, follow up, and make the follow up about them and not about the deal and me being the purchaser. Okay? Let's see what we have here. Martine, how many AMs do you have? So acquisition managers. So we had 2, and then we had to let one go, and we're back at 1 right now, but we're heavily, heavily, heavily marketing for a second acquisition manager. So if anyone's on here that wants to work their butt off but make a great, great commission doing the acquisitions for my team, we are looking for a good acquisition manager. Okay, we got plenty of people on here. Okay, Darren, awesome, Darren. Boston, I'm having a hard time trying to get on my follow-up. Darren, just do it. Set time aside. Just do it. It sucks. It's not fun. It's not the unicorns and rainbow. It's not the frosting on the cake. It sucks. It's hard because a lot of the follow-up you're going to do isn't going to result in anything, but it's okay. Tell yourself you're one more phone call away from what to me is a $21,700 assignment fee. That is pretty motivating. That's what allows me to get through the follow-up. So sometimes we get trapped in the follow-up and nothing happens and we think we're not getting anywhere. But remember, each one of those touches is doing something. Each one of those touches is leading them and guiding them to let them know that you're going to come out you can, regardless of the option. So keep doing the follow-up, and you're planting seeds for the future for someone to come back to you and say, hey, I'm ready to sell my home, and you've been amazing to talk to. I want you to buy my home. So keep up on the follow-up. It's not fun, and sometimes we don't feel like we're getting any traction. But if you will do a solid 30 days, a solid 60 days, a solid 90 days of follow-up, you're going to see a train that was at a halt, and you're pushing as hard as you can. You're pushing as hard as you can, and now the train's moving. And after 30, 60, 90 days of follow-up, that train now has momentum. And we have what Darren Hardy calls big mo. Big momentum comes behind the train and starts helping you pushing that train, okay? So keep it up. It's not easy. It's not fun. It's not glamorous. But I'm telling you, that is where the money's at. Remember, 7 out of 10 of my last 10 deals, 7 out of 10 came from follow-up. Okay, so let me scroll down. What does an ideal follow-up call sound like? So Omar, you probably heard it now, and this has probably been up there for a long enough time, but mainly a follow-up call is always about them. It's not about the house. If you talk about the house, they're going to be so bugged and set off and not want to talk to you, and you're wasting their time. Genuinely and sincerely care about them. If your mom was selling her house and she was just inherited from her mom that maybe just passed away, that's one thing you got to look at is, would you call your own personal mom back and say, so mom, when are you selling me the house? Yeah, I get it. Your mom died. I get it. But when are you selling me the house? I'd love to pay all cash, close quickly, no real estate commissions, blah, 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 blah. You wouldn't do it, right? And so the main thing is, think about what that conversation would look like if it was your brother. Think if that conversation was your mom. It probably wouldn't go down that way. What you would do is you'd say, hey, mom, how can I help you out? I know you're going through a hard time. I know you just lost your mom. How do I help you out? Can I help you pack some boxes? Can I help pay for a dumpster to put in your driveway so you can empty out the house? Think outside the box. Put it in perspective. If that was someone related to you, how would you do follow-up? And you would be genuinely interested in them and not so much in the deal. The deal follows you being genuinely interested in their lives, and then that gives you the opportunity to put a home under contract. So the faster you learn that principle, the faster you're going to get deals. Guys, is this all making sense? Can you guys hear me? Has the screen been blotching out or anything, or has everything been okay? Give me some thumbs up if this is making sense, and this is something you can take action on. Let's see. Colby, do you use Podio at all, or are you using High-Rise for everything? So Colby, good question. Thank you guys. For those out there, I love to see those. Give me some more. Give me some more. Let's love it. Colby, that's a good question. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Darren. All right, looking good, guys. So Colby, do you use Podio? For our company, yes, we do. But it is a custom out. It's a custom built Podio. So we had it built out custom for us because we wanted it the way we wanted it. There's other systems out there that might work good. High-Rise is awesome at the beginning because it's so simple. So many people get caught up in doing things with Podio that they start to lose focus on where they should be and what they should be doing. They're more worried about, hey, my Podio does this, and it does this, and it does this. Oh, my Podio mails out offers. Oh, my Podio does this, and my Podio does that. And you're like, okay, so how many offers did you make today? Well, I made no offers today, but my Podio can. I just got to do this, 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 and my Podio will be able to do this. And I'm like, guys, you're missing the boat. So keep it simple. That's the good old simple KISS, right? Keep it super simple, and keep it super simple. So if High-Rise is what you're on, that's okay. The only reason we had to get a little more sophisticated is because we had more users. We now have a team of 7, 8 people that are on, and we needed something a little more sophisticated that could keep all of our communication, everything all in one area. And so we moved over to Podio, but it was custom built the way we wanted it. So that's one thing we've absolutely we've loved. But know that High-Rise, we were with High-Rise for a long time because it's so simple. It keeps you in just follow-up and not worrying about what Podio can do and what Podio can do, because that can be a trap. Colby, I hope that helps. Let's see. Anything else, guys? I'm looking in here. If you have any questions, please fire away. I can't tell you how important it is. At the end of the day, the main message here, guys, do your follow-up. If you'll do your follow-up, you're going to make a lot more money than if you just go after the low-hanging fruit. Going after the low-hanging fruit is going to lead to doing 2-3 deals a month on a good, big marketing budget, where you can do that same marketing budget and bring in 8, 9, 10 deals. That's where we're at. We're doing anywhere from 8 to 12 deals every single month, and that's what it looks like. Majority of them, 70%, 80% of them, every single month, come from the follow-up pool, come from the CRM. There's so much gold sitting in your database. Do the follow-up. Do your best at follow-up. Always make it about the seller and not about the home, and you'll give yourself a shot at being the one that gets the contract. And the follow-up, my friend, is where most people drop off. There's not many people doing it. Follow-ups for the birds. Follow-up, they just want new leads, new leads, new leads. I'm telling you right now, you've got plenty of leads in your database. Work them. Do more with less, and you're going to find yourself very profitable, very happy, and something that will keep building and scaling and growing so that you can be a successful wholesaler. Okay, guys, I sure appreciate you. Love you guys. God bless you in your efforts. And let's see, if you get a property on contract, can you wholesale it on contract? You get a property on contract, can you wholesale it on contract? So Thomas, let me make sure I understand what you're saying here. If you put a home under contract, can you wholesale it? So let me just kind of break it down. This is probably simple, but wholesaling is simply just finding the deeply discounted property. And then what a lot of people are calling wholesaling is what is called an assignment. So you put a home under contract, and then you simply assign the contract because it's an assignable agreement. And depending what state you live in, sometimes you either have to close on the property and then sell it to the investor, or sometimes they do what's called an assignment. You put the home under contract, and then it's an assignable agreement, and they buy the contract so they can go close on the house. I hope that answers. You're welcome, Jeremy. Thank you for joining, and thank you everyone for joining. I hope it's been of value. If it's been of value, please give me some thumbs up. That way I know that it makes sense. I love doing these, but I don't want to get on here to waste your time, and I definitely want to be on here if it's a way of helping you guys. So if it's been of help, please, please, please Give me some thumbs up so that I know that I delivered something that's of value that you can start implementing in your business. And as you do that, guys, I'll continue to get on here and do the exact same thing. I'll keep coming out here and sharing this with you guys. I love it. It's my goal to get each one of you accomplishing what you want to accomplish one day at a time. So let's go out there and do some follow-up. Start today. Get off this Facebook Live and get out there and start doing follow-up. And in time, it's going to lead to a lot of money. God bless, guys.